Hi, Anti-Society! Welcome back to the Anti-Social Planet, and today we are watching episodes 272 and 273 of Bleach. So, in the last episode, we had a little bit of a revelation, an important moment, one might say. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that this is an important moment for the rest of probably like Bleach in general, but like definitely for this arc. Ichigo may or may not have turned into a hollow, and not like last time when he like turned into a hollow and then he came back. Like proper turned into a hollow, like hole in his chest and everything kind of hollow, and it looked epic. Let's be honest with ourselves here. It was a cool fight, okay? Them like testing how fast the other one was, using setos, like the way that he like made the seto but like with the horns. It was cool. It was a cool fight. They were like throwing each other around. Towers were collapsing. It was a cool fight. I'm not gonna lie there. I would have liked maybe a little bit more. I don't know. I felt like it didn't focus a lot on like Ulquiorra's like fighting tactic, really. We kind of saw him throw Ichigo around and then Ichigo throw him around. So it wasn't quite as like dynamic, I think, as like Ichigo versus Grimjo, but I mean, I'm probably just biased because I like Grimjo's fighting style, so that's a possibility too. But it was cool, distressing. I kind of turned off for most of it, like my brain just could not deal with what I was looking at. So hopefully this episode we're gonna see if Ichigo or Hollow or whatever is happening decided to actually kill Ulquiorra because he was using a seto like point blank, or if we're going to see if there's any kind of explanation for what exactly is happening. Are we gonna get Ichigo back? I don't know. If we do, will it be the same? He did die. That has to have an effect on people. He became hollow. That seemed to have done some damage to him before. I don't know if hollow Ichigo, like white Ichigo, has anything to do with it. I'm stressing about it. I'm stressing about what this outcome might be. I'm worried that if he does defeat Ulquiorra, will he like turn on like Ishida and Orihime, like, because he seems very like mindless, kind of instinctual kind of thing right now. So if the hollow is in control, then he might just like turn and attack them because like that's what a hollow would do. So that's distressing. We're also gonna check in with Rukia and Renji and Sato and what they're doing, because apparently we're just gonna like move on from this a little bit. I'll be curious to see their reactions when they kind of like sense what's going on. But yeah, let's just take a deep breath and watch episode 272. In 3, 2, 1, go. So we're doing Rukia's Bye. Hello, Yami. Throwing a lot at me the first few seconds. I mean, I thought that we were gonna get Ishida and Yami fighting again, but it looks like Ishida's dealing with the whole Ichigo thing, so I guess the others are gonna have to deal with Yami. I feel like Yami's gonna want to fight Ishida though, out of like rage. But we'll see what happens. I mean, him and Ulquiorra like work together, or like at least I think of them as like a pair because they were like the first ones that we met. I'll be very interested to see where the whole Ichigo Ulquiorra thing ends up, because it looks like we're still dealing with that. In terms of like, I guess, Ichigo or the hollow. I don't really know what's happening yet. um, did not decide to use the Seto point blank and destroy him. Considering that it looks like Ulquiorra is still alive. Yeah, that happened. The dramatic music, though, it almost sounds like an organ, which in my brain is like very dramatic and almost gothic. It shows that my shoulders are very like tensed up. That's where I'm at with how I feel about all this. You know, I should probably have Totoro. Just seems like we might still need the support. All that recap, and we're just gonna leave it. We're gonna put a pin in that. No offense, Furukia, and Mabuesato, and Adenji. Care about them all. I really do. Um, I'd like to know what's going on with Ichigo, though. They are unlikely to give up. Did they make a force field? What the heck just happened? I don't think I do understand. The marching is intimidating. It's true. You're gonna need a new approach, a new strategy. We like the teamwork. Her Zanpakuto really is pretty, isn't it? Like her whole like power set. I like the combination attack tactic. Oh no, I like Renchi's Bankai. It was a good try though. Ooh, excuse? Did she put him in the circle thing? Clever. That was the whole like roots, like the plant thing, right? I was wondering if that would be. So I was trying to figure out like exactly how they get around it, and I'm like, maybe the roots, like they have something to do with that. True. Plants don't do well in cold. I like even Urukia looks shocked by what just happened. Yami just coming out of nowhere. He's a little bit rageful at the moment. Yeah, he was mean. He's definitely having a bit of a rage moment. And possibly, gonna transform. Excuse? Was that Ichigo? His Seto? So they haven't sensed that anything's up yet? They've been distracted, obviously, but it was a heck of a Seto, though. Oh my gosh. Did he do what I think he did? Ishida? I'm somewhat worried for your safety. The guts, though. It's true. No! Come on, Ichigo. You can come back from this. Anybody can. If anyone's stubborn enough. I need you to not keep trying to kill Ishida, though. Oh, hello again. Symbolism. Like, Ulquiorra lost an ear, a horn. I don't really know what it was. And then taking off Ichigo's horn. There's obviously some of Ichigo in there. It just doesn't seem like he's calling the shots right now, which is worrisome. Ulquiorra regenerating himself again. That's promising. Looking human. No gaping void in his chest. Regeneration? Excuse me? Can we go back to the part where he's able to do regeneration? Because I would like to talk about that skill. Yeah, you kind of died again. Also, can you take your bankai out of Ishida? Can we not stab our friends? Thank you. Please, somebody help Ishida. There we go. Thank you for keying into that. A little bit, yeah. He is, yes. It would seem. But I mean, so is Ulquiorra, apparently. No, wait. Yes. Also true. I feel like there's gonna be some like serious emotional trauma from this between the dying and the stabbing a friend and the, you know, stuff like that. Ichigo, you need to calm down though. Can we just take a breath? Can we give ourselves a second to recenter? Do not cut off your limbs. You're running out of steam. Yeah, because you're talking about how you couldn't regenerate really because he was like, damn, his body is damaged beyond repair, right? Beautiful use of color transition though, like the saturation. Like mimicking kind of like an enlightened moment. Just saying. Why do I feel like crying? Why am I so upset? I'm actually like tearing up. Why was it so sad? Wait, hang on. I legitimately like need a second. Why did that get to me so much? It was those dang sad violins. Ugh, it's fine, it's fine. I'm not crying because of an espada, okay? Ugh. I don't even know how to like put my thoughts together because I was not expecting to be this emotional. I do want us to heal Ishida though. And I feel like Ichigo's gonna be going through some stuff. The good news, we're almost done fighting the people that are in Las Noches. So, hey, we're gonna acknowledge that the captains are a thing still. And go back to the living world a little bit. Quincy's. Oh, the dads fighting. Just giving up his son immediately. The emotional outburst from Ishida's dad, though. So, I feel like I keep having to take like a break when I get to the end of these episodes. I was fully not expecting to cry. I don't know what I was expecting, but tears was not what I thought was going to happen either during that episode or like the end of Ulquiorra's story. Like, I didn't think that that would be the one that got me. But I think it's because we had this like overarching story. Like, there's so much character development in who Ulquiorra is, like from when we first met him to this episode. And I feel like the fact that Ulquiorra's story is like finding emotion, like it is him like discovering like what it means to like feel things, like the heart is what he's trying to understand, and the fact that he like unlocks the potential of what it means to have feelings and heart right at the end. Like he doesn't fully understand what it means until like he's staring death in the face. It's just like such an emotional thing for me, like the fact that like he understood just a little bit too late for him to actually do anything about it. Like he has the one line where he says like when he realizes that he's gonna die, he's like, just when I was starting to get interested in like humankind and like people in general. And it's such a heartbreaking line because yeah, like he was just starting to find that interest and to like fully understand. And I feel like him fighting Ichigo was him like being in denial about the fact that he had this emotion and he had a heart of his own in a certain way. And I feel like he wanted to prove that he didn't by fighting Ichigo. Like I feel like he wanted to like prove that he was still disconnected somehow by like fighting against Ichigo and wrecking this hope that Orihime had. Like he wanted to prove her wrong. As a result, prove, these kind of emotions and thoughts that he was having wrong. And then that's not how it went. And kind of heart persevered, and him like seeing that and realizing it right at the end, like Orihime like reaching out for him and his hand like dissolving, like he never gets that like sympathetic, like even just touch of like someone else who like legitimately cares and wants to reach out to him. Like he never got to experience that. It just breaks my heart. It breaks my heart. And I feel like I could go back and rewatch the stuff with Ulquiorra and write like a whole essay about how I feel about his character development, but not right now because my feelings are a little bit on high, especially since I know that Ichigo is going to be going through so much like post these events. I don't know how much we'll like get into that, as it seems that we're like talking about like the captains that are fighting the other Espada. You know, now that we've dealt with number 4, we're going back to like 3, 2, and 1, and going back to the living world and that conflict. So I don't know how much we'll kind of focus on Ichigo. I think maybe we'll get like some clips and stuff intermixed, but I don't know if we're going to get like anything in depth with him. Like we might even just like put a pause on that for a while. It's like, hey, we have a fight still to deal with, like a war that's brewing. So we'll put a pin in that for right now. And then we'll go back to like the emotional baggage that is Ichigo, like first dying, and then second losing control of like his body and his abilities, and then third like coming to with having stabbed Ishida and then also effectively killed Ulquiorra, which I feel like he's going to take hard. Because we had the fight with Grimjo where like he was in this similar circumstance where like it was Grimjo asking him to kill him, to end the fight that way, and Ichigo deciding not to, like to not kill Grimjo was like this huge decision for him. Like it was him standing to his morals and like who he is as a person and saying like, no, like there's no reason for me to do that, I've already won. And then to have like the complete opposite morality from his kind of hollow self means that he's gonna have to deal with the ramifications of having done something that goes against his morals, but like he wasn't entirely part of. And I feel like his like almost like manic response to that, where he's like, that wasn't me, that had nothing to do with me, it's a completely other thing, like it's not me at all. And I feel like maybe it wasn't in some ways, like I feel like there's like this lack of conscious to it, but it is a part of him at the same time. And I feel like he needs to deal with that and set, like come to terms with that, if not necessarily peace. And then also like just his kind of manic response of like, no, I can fix this, is kind of like where his brain was at, where you could see kind of him like desperately trying to figure out like, how do I make this fair again, how do I make this fit with who I really am, and going as desperate as being like, I'll lose my own arm and leg, like we'll just make it even, like, you know, it's almost like he thinks he deserves to be punished for the thing that he did. So I feel like we're gonna have to deal with that, at least from like an emotional side of things. Like I feel like Ichigo's he's not gonna be the same anymore, not just from he's got this other power thing that's probably gonna freak him out and he's gonna have to figure out how to use it, you know, like we had before with White Ichigo, but it's also just like the emotional trauma of what exactly happened. But we've got like a lot of other fights that we kind of have to touch base with again to kind of be like, hey, remember these characters and that other things were happening. So I feel like we're going to kind of do that mostly for the next episode. I'm not sure when we'll fully deal with Ichigo, but let's just get into episode 273. In 3, 2, 1, go. Oh, there's a lot happening. Oh my god. What is... Why is this show trying to give me a heart attack? Why? I need everyone to just calm down. Take a breather. I'm so... Totoro, you got such a long break. Just to come back to a really intense point. Poor Totoro. This show's not gonna calm down anytime soon, is it? I'm just thinking, I'm like, We're like at the beginning of this part of like the arc. And there's two more. Oh my gosh, what are the next two arcs gonna be like if this is what this arc is like? And you guys said that the Thousand Year Blood War is worse. How am I gonna survive the new episodes? Before I fell into existential dread, let's just focus, shall we? Don't show it to me again. I'm already emotionally fragile. I already cried. Okay, but somebody better hug Ichigo. Because he seems like he could use a hug. I'm not gonna cry again. Views. I might cry again. Oh, so you noticed that? But you didn't notice that Ichigo went crazy berserk hollow mode? Maybe focus on that though too. Yes, the conveniently covered 10 is no longer covered. I mean, Rukia did technically win. She's the only one out of you three who did. So, I mean, the rankings are a little bit ambiguous about like where someone fits strength wise. We've had debates, well, talks about this before. And rage is how he activates his power. So he's a tad bigger now. His number changed. Come again? Zero. Does that mean he's the strongest? It's a fair point. And they said there were 10. Huh. Was not expecting that. It's a fair point though. I just assumed it was 1 to 10. But they said that there were 10. Zero is still technically a number. Explains why we left Yami for so long. I was wondering why. Now I'm worried though. So if he's the strongest, and you guys don't have a great track record of winning against Asmata, so you could probably use some backup. Maybe a captain or two. They seemed to help out last time. Maybe not Ichigo. I don't think he would do well. He's going through some stuff. I mean, maybe like Hollow Ichigo would do well, but are we gonna punch a skull into him? Because that's still like my favorite. I'm gonna say it didn't work. Well, I don't appreciate you calling them trash. Love how dramatic the Bankai release was. Is like we didn't see him use it like just a little while ago. Ooh, good job. Restrain him. I don't know how it'll work, but it's a good tactic. Teamwork, I like it. They're definitely gonna need some backup. Hello, Toshiro. I still remember what we saw at the beginning of the episode. I worry for you. Um, I think every time I see her, I'm like, her holomask is cool. Halibel? Halibel? Is that her? Something like that is her name? I can only remember Stark because that's the one that people talk about in like the comments in Discord the most. You might want to dodge. I'm just saying. Like I know that there's that whole thing where it's like, hey, let me block it and be really cool, but like you can also just step out of the way. Kira, helping people, good. We like to see it. Healing. Everybody looks a little bit worn out, which is worrying. His hat. Did he? Because your eyes were being hidden when you said that again. But now you can kind of see his eye because of the hat being damaged. I'm just saying. Symbolic storytelling. See, dodging. Of course he has an axe. Omaida does talk a lot, doesn't he? True. So do they still have the seals on? I didn't think of that. That they probably do have the seals on. Oh, never mind then. So we don't have that trick to use. Mm, Yamamoto's a bit of a different situation. There's like captains, and then there's Yamamoto. And he wasn't even trying to like actively kill them. Hunt? See, it worries me because Shiro was already fighting with like his Bankai. And yeah, it's true. I mean, if the captains are struggling, then I'm sorry, Kira, I don't know what you could do. Hey, look at Toshiro. Good job. Gave me a heart attack though. Next time, warn me. I don't know, there's some inspirational music building up. I do think it says something that Yamamoto doesn't feel the need to jump in now. Like it's the same thing of like trusting them, where he feels like he doesn't need to get involved. We know that he will get involved in the fight if he feels like he needs to, But the fact that he hasn't joined the fight with where the captains are involved means that he trusts them to be able to take care of it. So maybe a little reassurance. I can hope, right? It's fine. Just bopping along to this ender so that I can escape the emotions. Does he not know his name? Oh. So yeah, Yami surprised me. Fair enough, guys. Telling me in the comments, telling me on Discord that Yami's gonna be a little of a wild card. Fair enough, though. They said that there were 10 Espada. They never said it was 1 to 10. Could be 0 to 9. Totally applicable. I feel like it's a little bit sneaky, though, that he did put the 1 there. Like, he just wanted to be undercover. Like, what was the point of it? Was that just to mess with my brain? Maybe it was Aizen. Maybe that's how Aizen gets his giggles. But I definitely feel like maybe some captains should be coming and rescuing Rukia and Renji and Sado because they did not do super well against the other Espada. I mean, Rukia did win, technically, but she also, like, almost died a little bit. So if we could just, not go through that again. I've had a lot of stress on me already for this part of the arc, so if someone could just, like, swoop in and take care of that. Not Ichigo. Ichigo probably could only deal with Yami if he was in, like, hollow form, and that freaks me out at the moment. I think it freaks Ichigo out at the moment, so I don't want him to deal with it. But if someone could show up and rescue them. I'm also just gonna assume that Orihime is healing Ishida, because if he's just, like, dying out, on the roof of Las Noches, I am going to lose my mind. This has been a lot for me. These, like, last, like, 4 episodes. Also getting back into the living world. Of course, we've defeated number 4 Espadas, so we are going back into the other numbers, 3 specifically. Going to get to see Toshiro's fight, which I'm excited for. I do like, his fighting style. I think that he's got some cool stuff to bring to that, getting into kind of the released forms of these other Espada. Maybe we'll get some of the mystery unveiled about Shinsui's ability, because he seems to just kind of be having fun with it still, kind of feeling out what Stark's power is. I feel like maybe he wants to figure out, like, I feel like Shinsui is the kind of person who, like, only shows, like, just the right amount of his power to fit the opponent. Like, I feel like he doesn't go all out. He wants to, like, keep as much of it a secret as possible. I feel like if he doesn't have to show off how powerful he is, he won't. Maybe we'll get to see some cool stuff with him. Again, we haven't really seen him fight. Excited to be getting into those fights. taking a little bit of a break from the whole Ichigo thing because I don't know how to feel about him anymore. Yamamoto just kind of hanging out, waiting for everybody to kind of figure their stuff out. I'm sure that when we get into some of like the more serious points of the fight that he might step in again, because we know that he will. So I'm sure that at the moment he is confident that all the captains can deal with the conflict, trusts them to win their fights, and he's just sort of hanging out waiting for when we need to deal with Aizen. At some point we're gonna have to see Urahara and Vizard, right? I know that in the opener we see some of Vizard joining in to like the fight that's happening in the living world. I don't know when that's gonna happen, but it'd be nice to have some backup. Just generally, I feel like we might need it. But I do like that we're getting some of the personality of Halibel. I feel like Halibel is her name. The number 3 is Spada. If I'm wrong, editing me will somewhere that I was wrong. But getting to learn about her personality and the fact that she feels very strongly about her subordinates, like we saw, she had definitely a reaction to when the other 3 Arrancar that she had were defeated by Yamamoto, that she was upset by that happening, and seeing that is a continual part of her personality, that she does have that emotional connection, which is very different from some of the other Espada and like how they feel about it. Like some of them didn't even really properly have subordinates, and then you have kind of throwaway subordinates like Pink Hair Espada, and so to have her emotionally attached is interesting for an Espada or like a Hollow at all. So intrigued to see where her character goes as we get into her fight. Probably shouldn't pick a fight with Yamamoto though. Just saying. Like if she cares about self-preservation, maybe don't do that. You can click this playlist to see my previous reactions, or you can subscribe. I post new Bleach episodes every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!